Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
Great, man. Great as always. Out with yourself.
Man, I'm doing absolutely great, man. So let's give them this good food to eat on, and whether they eat it or not, that's gonna be on them, Coach. So we're gonna do it. I got the topic that you shot over to me. Why
Mm.
are we so? You put a couple of O's on that,
Yeah,
emphasize
yeah.
you're so rich and yet so poor. And of course,
Mm.
I moved the we out the way and put blacks. So you know how I do
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
black
yeah,
things.
yeah,
So because
yeah.
I think that's the way you're going. If it's not, you'll let me know in just a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get ready to jump into it. So family, as you come in, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Hit that notification bell. So every time we put feed out, every time I go out, every time coach myself, drop any videos or any content that you'll be notified. And before we get started, we definitely gonna deal with what coach got on his heart, what he got on his mind, because he want to know why are we so rich and yet so poor. So let's make sure before we get started, once again, and we should already be there. So I always say this right here. It lets me know that, we got a lot of work to do in our community because I go out on Facebook, YouTube, on these social media platforms and just to observe and some of the stuff that I see that my people are subscribing to, liking and sharing. We got a lot of work to do. And I'm noticing that a lot of the content that people are putting out has nothing to do with helping someone take their own lives to another level. But here it is, we get information definitely that can help change your life. And we won't, as a people, we won't even subscribe, like, or share it and hit
Mm.
that notification button. So it lets me know that there's a lot of work that has to be done in the Black community. So I want to ask the family this before we even get started. Are you still struggling or have you gotten started on a better journey? It's the question I'm asking right now. And what about your physical? Everyone who hear me now and who's listening, have you began to clean your eating up? What about exercise? You know, uh, what are you doing during the course of 7 days? Are you putting at least 3 days in? At least 3 days. It's 7 days in a week because we understand that in the Black community, there's a lot of problems when it comes to our physical health. And Second Nature for Children will come in with solutions. It's 7 days in a week. And if you haven't started, have you started? Or what about getting started on 3 days out the week? At least 3 days out the week, begin exercise, getting out, doing some walking, or getting into a gym, doing some type of physical fitness. Have you gotten started on that? It's your life. And so I just want to definitely ask you that. On your
On
mental,
your
what you say, coach?
No, no, I said nothing. Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, okay. And I just want to make sure that when we begin to get those 3 days in a week, at least 3 days out of 7 days, because we're in different places with our physical fitness. Begin to watch three things, and then we'll have to move from there. And if you need my help, there's my information. But I need you to begin to watch your calorie intake. And I don't know what calorie that I will put you with because I don't know what type of weight you may be trying to lose.
Mm.
But definitely watch your calorie intake, watch your fat intake, and you want to stay 60 grams of fat or less. Foods have the nutrition facts on the back of it. You just flip it over. And then watch your added sugar, not just sugar, watch your added sugar. You want to try to zero added sugar out of your diet, period. But if you have anything with added sugar in it, make sure that you don't go over 25. Definitely work on keeping it under 30 grams per day. And if you begin to work on that further as your physical and begin to clean your eating up, get your exercise going, you on your way. Now, with your mental state, I need you to wake up every morning with a positive mindset. Now we're working on the mind. We already got the physical, what we need to start doing. Now we need to work on the mind. We need to be very clear on what it is that we want out of life. And we have to make sure that we learn how to activate our brain in a powerful conscious and an unconscious way to fuel you, to get you going. So you got to get up with a positive mindset because it's here. Your brain is the goal achieving machine. That if you're going to be successful, if you're going to achieve anything in life, if you're going to make any changes, if you're going to evolve, it has to start from here. And your brain, it can't. I want you to understand something. It cannot create something that you haven't yet defined, imagined, or envisioned. It won't happen. You have to make sure that if you want to change, evolve, if you want to make that brain do something different, you have to make sure that you have already defined it, imagined it, or envisioned it. You have to make sure. That's how you begin to make the brain work. And then when we're dealing with the soul, simply making that connection with that which dwells within you. And that really means having a great relationship with yourself and then applying the principles that makes you successful. And I talked to you about the principles, your discipline, self-control, tenacity. You can't achieve nothing without the principles that dwell within you. I know a lot of us are struggling with a lot of different things, but whatever you're working toward, you have to learn how to put the mindset and the right principles that come from within you together. And I'm going to share this with you, and I want you to get this because this is a fact. You will never overcome your vice or vices, whatever you're dealing with, until you learn how to connect your mental to your spirit. That's learning how to connect your brain to your heart. And you wondering why you may be struggling with something because you haven't learned yet how to make the connection. So I just want to make sure before we got started that we're always about solutions. We know there's a lot of problems in the Black community. So there are some solutions that we are bringing right now. So right now, let's jump right into Coach. Let's get ready to do it. Why are we so rich and yet so poor? Now I'm gonna give you this right here, Coach, and I'm finna let you go. I want to define, when we think of rich, we talk about money. Most of us, when we hear rich, we going straight money, having stuff. Okay, so you know I always got to spin it, and I'll come back later with my part. But I want to just define rich, not even dealing with the money, we already know. But I want to say well supplied, abounding, plentiful. I want to use that definition of rich. I want to use that definition of rich one. Because when we talk about, and you hear, we deal with connecting the mind, the body, and the soul together. So they say I'm the greatest at correlating things together. So when I think of rich, I already know that we get caught up with the money. So when I think of rich, I think about just as it is defined as well supplied, abounding, and plentiful. So when it comes to our well-being, we have what it takes to be the best physically. We are rich. I want them to hear what I'm saying. We are rich in having what we need for our physical to be better than the condition that we're in. We have plenty. We are well supplied. Okay. Our mental state, same thing. There's a lot of work to do mentally, but we are rich mentally. We are some of the smartest people in the world. We've created most everything that's in the world. But as time has went on, we have begun to go another way mentally. But we're very rich mentally as a people. Same thing about our spirit. We are a very spiritual people, but we've been indoctrinated into religion till we have forgot about our plentiful of spiritualness. We are rich as a people spiritually, but here's poor, not good in quality, lacking something needed. So when we go back to the physical, our quality health is poor. We rich because we have what we need to get it done, but us not knowing how to connect our mind and our soul together, it makes us very poor because our health and quality is not doing well. It's something that we need. And I'm trying to convey over to us, what is that need? That need is to learn how to connect the brain to the heart. Same thing about our mental. We're very poor. We're dealing with mental issues, mental illness, and mental disorders that we're not willing to go and get help for. And it keeps us poor in quality. We're not doing good mentally. Same thing about our spirit. It's something that we need, but religion is not giving it to us. And we are needing to be more spiritually connected. So I just wanted to bring that rich and poor and connect it with the mind, the body, and the soul. Now, Coach, why are we so rich and yet so poor? Give me your perspective on it.
Well, I came up with two things, man. Not knowing our value and our choices. Remember that, not knowing our value and choices. So let me start by saying how this came about. I'm just writing, and I normally do reflecting what another week, a few days, my birthday. So I always reflect on my life, how I'm moving, whatever. And I'm riding, and I saw a pawn shop. That's how this trickled this whole thought. I saw a pawn shop, and I remember how that used to be a staple, all over our community. But you still got a few anyway. And I also remember how that morphed into payday loans. Remember, I know you remember payday loans, and people used to get jammed up, exorbitant, interest, and then they put legislation onto it, and we see them kind of fade away to a certain degree. Then that morphed into title pawn. It's the same thing in our neighborhoods. Okay, title pawn. Then we got kind of crazy with the tattoos. So every hood had a tattoo parlor, 2 or 3 tattoo parlors. I guess most people got enough tattoos. I don't know, because I'm saying that's kind of died down. Now we got smoke and vape shops. Just riding through the neighborhood, I'm like, man, So we got all this coming in our community. Mind you, everything that's coming in is taken from us. They ain't giving us anything, really. Because if you get a loan, it's not, you got to pay that back plus the interest. So they're not really, giving us anything. And then I thought about our talent, how we so naturally gifted. Well, it's on a ball field, well, it's on a hardwood floor, whatever. So talented. Some of us, we got the big payday, what have you. But man, most of us are not getting what we deserve. And don't talk about trying to get to a coaching position or try to be a part owner, man. Forget that. You still battling. 2024 now. Mind you, all of this is running through my mind while I'm driving, off of just looking at the pawn shop. Then I thought about the actors and actresses. I mean, you can say Tyler, I see 50, he got a studio in Louisiana, just opened up, what have you. But we're it's so many of us, but why so few of us, getting that slice of the pie? You know what I mean? I thought about that. I even thought about our neighborhoods. We didn't know how valuable our neighborhoods were until it started being gentrified. You know what I mean? We didn't know that. So now we know. Now we kicking and screaming, whatever. But Ain't nothing you can do. It's too late. So all of that has ran through my mind. And I thought about, like I said, we don't know how valuable we are. You know, we let others put a value on us. And I think we buy into that. You know what I mean? And then our choices. What's good for you, what's not good for you. You know what's enhance you or can bring you down. You know, that don't mean you go with the crowd, you know. It can be right in your neighborhood. That don't mean you have to partake of it. That's your choice. You know what I mean? So, like I said, for a 5-10 minute period, that just ran through my mind. And that's how I came up with that. You know, you talk about the stuff that we invented. I mean, it's just you can go on, man. But at some point in time, we got to realize that we're better than others think we are. But it starts with how we see ourselves. It's how we see ourselves. And if you see or you think that you're not valuable, how you expect someone to see you better than you see yourself? It's not going to work, man. So that's where that came from.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. And definitely, we are a very rich people, and we spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money. Even
Mm.
a lot of us is talking about we don't have this and we don't have that, but we spend a lot of money because it's recorded that each year blacks spend more than 3.7 billion just on alcohol.
There you
That's a
go.
lot. Listen, man,
Yeah.
do you
Yep.
know what we can do if we come together as a people? You're talking about 3.7 billion just on alcohol alone. Don't you know what we can do with that money? But they know that that drug got us so messed up to it just calling our name. You understand what I'm saying? Before we take our money and do something positive as a people, not as an individual where you can come back and say, well, I do this, I do that for myself. Yeah. I know. I'm talking about for us as a people. That's the problem we have. We are a very selfish people. You understand? And then you and I are coming on trying to make a difference, trying to open up that mind. But I think about Harriet Tubman. So we going back in time where she said, I could have taken more with me, but they didn't even realize that they was enslaved. A lot of them didn't understand about how to be free, what freedom meant. And we are here in 2024, and we are still incarcerated mentally, and we're here trying to free the minds of our people. But a lot of people are not coming with us because they don't even understand being free, being free. So can you imagine if we're spending that much money on alcohol? That's your money. That's your money. See, a lot of these people, when you begin to talk about a lot of actors or actresses or athletes, a lot of times these people get their money from a white structure.
True.
Okay.
True.
Okay. So a lot of times they have to be very careful what they do and how they represent certain things because just like that white structure gave you that money, they'll find a way to take that money back away from you.
True. True.
You understand? So,
True.
and I had to learn that years ago that I'm like, man, now we can start becoming multimillionaires and billionaires. But I'm seeing how they're making that money. And then they have to be careful because of how they got that money too. So when I'm looking at us going to the store, this is our money that we can work for. This money wasn't given to us for us to be so rich. We could take that little $5 and $10, that little $5 and $10, that little $20, $30, that little 20, or $50, whatever it is. That if it come up to 3.7 billion, that's our money that we can build something with. You see the difference. If I get my money from Mr. Charlie over here, then Mr. Charlie gonna be watching me, especially if I try to start doing something that Mr. Charlie don't like, where he know I can cut this money out. That's why a lot of them boys who made them deals with the Europeans, dealing with the champagne and the wine and the liquor and things like that right there, they got to be very careful because them boys are coming out and cut them things off in a hurry if they don't play the game the way that they want that game to be played. We're so scared to come together to do for ourselves. That's the problem, because we are so mentally enslaved till we always got to work for somebody else. We don't see, it's just like here, Second Nature for Children, Inc. This is an organization, okay? Well, we focus on educating children. That's my job, is to go throughout the world, educating children, building a base, a foundation where I have an insight that if this don't happen for them at a young age, they're going to end up struggling like we struggle as adults. So it's my job. So when I ask for funding so I can do my job, it's going to take us as a people to fund the organization. But this is how the people see it, because they are enslaved. The people don't see me as working because I don't have a 9 to 5. You see, we've been indoctrinated with a 9 to 5 mindset. So if someone is an entrepreneur, a 9 to 5 mindset don't understand, well, damn, if he's doing something positive, if he's doing something to move the people, that's a revolution, then we need to support that. But we so messed up till we don't see. We need to support because he is working. He just worked different than I work. He don't have a 9 to 5. He's free, where I'm really enslaved because I have to do this, do this, do this, do this. But he don't. He's free. So if he's free, I need to support what he's doing. So, and then he's willing to show me how to be free. But just like Harriet said, it comes with a big responsibility. See, if I take them up north and free them, now they got to learn how to fend for themselves because they're free. But as long as they stay on this plantation, master gonna keep throwing them that slop and they can keep sleeping in the barn. So, and we still deal with that same mentality today, coach, where I'm not gonna help anybody be free because I'm not free. That's a lot of our mindset. And we have to be careful with us too, because I've encountered this a lot. There's a lot of jealousy in our community. And once someone see you doing well, that jealousy will kick up and they won't support you. So it's going to be very hard for us to do anything as a people, because when we don't understand the system, we got to understand the system is not designed to help us better ourselves. That's not how the system is designed. So for those who don't understand the system, then they'll never know. This is why we never move forward. I'm getting ready to explain it to you right now. The system is not going to help us. And then we won't help ourselves, and then we won't help each other. Real simple. It's real simple why we haven't moved forward as a people. Those three things. The system is not designed to help us. We won't help ourselves, and we won't help each other. I just answered why we haven't moved in hundreds of years. Those three right there. I just summed that up. Now we're finding out, as we're on YouTube now, that we're not even finding individuals. And if there are individuals who may be scared to comment or shoot an email or something like that, because I did get a very passionate email this week from someone. I did get that. But that's one person And we hitting people from Romania, Europe, throughout the United States, Canada, all over the place. So we may have that one or two that's struggling, but don't want to, you know, cry out. But hopefully, and that's one of the biggest reasons that I'm gonna keep going uh, from some emails that from some comments that I received and an email that I received that someone is saying, you know, you really helped me. So it may be one or two, yeah. So it may be one or two other people out there that's saying, you know what, I look forward to seeing coaching yourself, and your videos have really helped me. I wake up listening to you, I go to sleep listening to you, and have really helped me. So, coach, we can't stop. Even if we got that one person, even if we got that one person, because we're way behind. So even if we got that one person that we are ministering to, then we got to keep going, because and I meant to hit you up and share that a little bit of that call with you, just to let you know that someone did reach out, and it was a very passionate call that was seeking help. You got anything you want to share?
I I can't even stop if I want to, man. Let me just put it like that. That's who I am, because I know it's not about the feedback. Like I always said, they'll get it when they need it. Just let it be out here so they can get it when they're ready. But I can't stop even if I want to. Not like I don't want to. You know what I mean? So it's just like working out, trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Hey, that's just part of it. There's some added. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. You know. So
And by
yeah.
you saying, yeah, and by you saying that right there, I can't stop either. And because now I've gotten myself into it to the point where I got to make sure that when it comes to that tenacity, that fight through, no matter how it's going, no matter how it looks, I got to keep going. So now, you know, I'm I'm in the fight as well. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
to actually where I live my program anyway, dealing with my mind, my body, my soul. But then on this end, working with trying to get the information out to adults, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm done with that. But I had been done with that for years ago, and that's why I put my focus on children. But you know, I'm finding out that we need to work to help us as adults, so we can help our children. Because working with so many children over the years, but then sending them right back home to unhealthy, what they call parents, I'm like, dang, you know, so we got to make sure that the ones who want the help, the ones who want to escape, that we're here to make sure that they can escape, you know. So I'm not going anywhere. We spend a lot of money. We are rich as a people, but we're poor because of things that we are missing, you know. And you looking at over $2 billion a year on athletic shoes. Man, stop playing. You got some of us, you see it sometimes when it break out, man, and we be running and standing in line all night. I know we see some other folks out there, or other groups of people. I'm not talking about them.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the majority of us, and I'm looking at in the communities that I go and frequent, where I'm seeing and talking to parents who telling me how much they struggling and going through this and going through that. But then I'm saying, little Timmy right here, he got on Jordan, $300, $400 Jordan, this, that. Are you serious? And then the problem that I'm having with some of the parents that I'm dealing with, why would you go and spend $200, $300 on a pair of Jordans for a baby that's a couple of months old or a year old, and they won't be able to wear the shoe but 2 days? And then are you just to be able to say that your baby got this or your baby got that? We making some bad decisions. We are making some bad decisions on how we got the money, but we poor because it's something that we
Yeah.
lacking in quality, is something that we missing. We spend over $600 million on McDonald's and other fast foods a year. And you want to know why we obese? 600 million. And I'm talking about the black community. 3.7 billion alcohol, 2 billion athletic shoes, 600 million fast food. That's killing us mental,
Yep.
bad decision making. The fast food, that's killing our health. You understand? So we got it. We just got to learn how to use it. Just like I told them a little earlier, you have it physically. You're just not using it. You rich. You got it. You're just not using it. That's why your quality of health is not good, because you're not using what you have and what you need to be physically fit. Same thing about your mental state. Everybody want to talk about money this, money that. Let me tell you something. We're not ready to have no money as a people, because we showing right here you already got the money. You rich. Just look at what you're doing with your money. So if we give you more money, instead of 3.7 billion going to alcohol, now it's 6.7 billion going to alcohol. If we give you more money, instead of 2 billion going to athletic, now it's 4 billion. You're not going to do nothing but double, making other people rich instead of helping yourself or helping us as a people. There's a lot of work that we got to get done in the Black community, family. And wow. So, Coach, we got 6 minutes or so. Anything else you want to share?
I just want to point out also, man, that valuable material, minerals, they don't sit on top of the surface. You got to go dig deep to get down to it. And don't expect your value to be sitting on the surface, man. You got to dig deeper than you know, to tap into what you already have. You know, it's gonna take some work, because even if you know what it is, it still takes some work for you to channel that energy, that focus. You know what I mean? To mine that value you have, to make it beneficial to you, yours, and whoever. So it's not going to be easy, you know. If you the easy route is letting somebody determine your value and they pimp you, and then you know you got little or nothing to show for it. You can go that route, and we already know how that end up. There's a whole lot of folks like that, man. Whole lot of folks. So know your value, man. Make better choices, man. If it doesn't elevate you in some way, shape, or form, then it's really not good for you. And I know people talk about I gotta have a cheat day, and okay, fine. But while you cheating, you can be cheating yourself off the face of this earth too, in terms of time. You know what I mean? That might be cutting down your time. You don't know. So just be mindful of your choices, man. I mean, I know with life itself, it's hectic. You're trying to get away, you're trying to do whatever, but moderation. You know what I mean? Moderation. And try to add some, as far as your diet, try to add some kind of live food, man. You know, some sort of live, or if you can't get live, you know, frozen. You know what I mean? Try to stay away from that canned stuff, you know. Try to stay away from the drive-through. You know what I mean? You can't tell me a nutritious meal cook that quick. You know, there's no way, man. So just be mindful of your choices and know your value, man. Really, when you with yourself, just you have that conversation with yourself, man. You know, about your value. You might be surprised. You might be pleasantly surprised.
And that's
Yeah,
great to
so
share that with them, Coach, for them to understand, to don't think too highly of yourself till you become a arrogant fool, but think of yourself as having some type of value. Absolutely. And love yourself, you know. Because if you learn to love yourself and show a strong liking for yourself, you'll definitely begin to take care of yourself better. And I think a lot of times that's what happens to us, conscious or unconsciously. We don't realize that we're not showing ourselves love by continuing to self-destruct. Because once you learn to love yourself, then you'll develop a do and don't list. I wonder how many of us have a do and don't list. Because now I'm at the point where it was certain things that I used to do, I just don't do them anymore. You understand? Because I'm mature and I grew up, I know that that's not good for me. So definitely, family, make sure that you write down you a do and don't list and stick to it and make sure. Listen, I was thinking about this today. Be different so you can make a difference. I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Be different so you can make a difference. And just like Helen Keller said, listen, one of the worst things to encounter in your life is to literally have your vision, no, have your sight, but no vision. A lot of us, yeah, a lot of us don't have no vision because literally she was blind and she was asked that question. Did she think that was it anything worse than being blind? And she said, yes. It's literally having your sight, but no vision. That's how she put it. And a lot of us are walking around here can literally see, but we have no vision, and it's killing us. So, Coach, I'm gonna get ready to let it go. We got a minute and 44. If you got anything you want to share, I'm done with it. I hope they take it and go be the best they can be. We got a minute 38.
Evolve, man. Evolve, evolve. Try to be better than you were yesterday, the day before, and try to garner that knowledge. You know, it's out here. It's out there, man. The knowledge to elevate you. It's out here, man. I see it all the time. So, depending on how you see yourself, that's going to determine where you go for your information, where you go to garner that knowledge. So that's up to you, man. Your choices. So choose wisely, man.
I appreciate you, Coach. Much love as always. And we're going to keep grinding, making sure we do our part. That's all we can do. And until the next time, I'll holler.
All right, man. See you, man. Peace out.